So over to you, Luca.
So, Dankeschön and Guten Tag. I'm sorry, but this is everything that I know about German. I need to practice. And welcome to From Zero to Hero, How to Build an Ansible Pilot Community. First of all, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Luca Berton, and yes, I'm Italian, and I work in the Ansible team as an engineer, and I'm based in Brno, Czech Republic. Here you can see me having fun on ice skating, so we are not only all the time bored in front of computer, and unfortunately I hope this post-pandemic world will be over soon. What else about me? I have been Linux system administrator for a while. I was counting here and I was surprising that it was already 15. I remember a lot of hustle and bustle. I started with kernel 2.6. Some guys remember that there was a lot of going on. Systemd was a lot of fun and a lot of challenging moments. So I focus myself on infrastructure and automation in the latest period of time. I have been always open source enthusiast, so try to promote new project and also speak to some event. But let's deep dive about the topic of today. What is this type of project? So first of all, I started with the idea that some user might feel overwhelmed when they approach Ansible because it's a change of paradigm from the imperative world where you type the command directly on the server. I'm referring as a Linux system administrator. This is kind of declarative language. And sometimes you get confused because you want to, open a firewall port and you don't know which Ansible module to use. Sometimes there is a lot of difference between distribution, whatever, and maybe a dashboard like this could be complicated. This also refers to my day-to-day job because I'm working every day with a Red Hat customer, supporting them and troubleshooting in a lot of interesting and funny project. So it was the last summer, so 6 months ago, where I was thinking, how can I contribute to the world? And I was starting the Ansible Pilot community. Basically, the idea was to bridge between the documentation that is fantastic, astonishing, but sometimes is very long and some user might find overwhelming, and deliver some content like a bite size, very, very small, where you can consume in 5 minutes because everybody is in a hurry, so we don't have time for, 1 day long training. If we only would like to start a web server or, create an FS share, there are a lot of applications of Ansible and we know more than ever. So what was the first step? Create a brand identity. So I started with a simple image editor, and this is the official logo. After all, I need to create some content, and I was thinking a lot because I don't want to create something too much difficult, but not too much easy. So I'm trying to deliver content like intermediate level. In the end, this is the metrics that is available on my channel, and basically I'm focused on the installation on all the possible operating system. I installed Ansible on, of course, Red Hat like system, so Fedora, Red Hat Enterprise 8, also the new RHEL 9 beta. What else? CentOS 8, Stream, Amazon Linux, all the SUSE Linux, Oracle Linux. I had a lot of fun everywhere. And some distributions are more up-to-date. You can have Ansible core. Some are more tricky. But I tried all the possibility. Debian, Ubuntu, really, guys, the list is very, very long. And little by little, my idea is when a new distribution will exit, I'm trying to be up to date. Also, with the Sunrise of CentOS, I created content for Alma Linux, Rocky Linux, and so really it's a lot of fun. All the time is a different history because some content are available in EPEL, some are available as a direct distribution, and some is unsupported, for example, with Windows 10 or Windows 11, but still possible, and there is one way. Rather than that, I'm going to make my hands dirty with a lot of playbook code. For example, here there is some playbook code to share with an NFS server, but there are a lot in the channel. Really, create a user, assign a password to user, rename a directory. These are tasks that all the system administrators do day by day and could be automated with Ansible. And most of the time people don't know what about C Linux and a lot of security on this side. Sometimes my code didn't work, so I created some troubleshooting guide that could be useful to guide you from the red to green. This is one example of troubleshooting, like invalid play attribute. Sometimes we get stuck on error, and I know how painful it is going through hundreds of lines and try to understand where I'm missing. So I created this content on one simple reproducer, one simple fixing. The idea is to guide you to find out the solution. And how am I distributing this type of content? Because I have a different channel, I'm going to tell you in just 1 second. I started sharing this type of content and I was looking for feedback to understand if were usable or not. The first time was hard because the audience was really calm and quiet and cold. I was nearly to stop the project, to be honest, because for me it was an investing of time. Then some nice guy started to give me some approval, and that was great. And the things went faster and faster, also sharing with social media and sharing with friends. And now I can't believe it, to be honest, because when you read something, you have the best, I got stuck on this problem for 2 weeks, and you solve it. Keep going to do content like this. Nice explanation. So make me think what's next. And I have a lot of ideas. Don't worry, guys. Because I like to automate my day. And really, I'm doing a lot of things automated also for the website, for a lot of content. And I always try to save time because we are always in lack of time in our journey. So, how am I distributing the media? So, first of all, my main channel is about creating some video that you can see on Ansible Pilot official channel. I'm also creating some secondary content. Basically, they are like vertical content with some funny music just to attract a new view on Instagram and TikTok. Yeah, it might sound silly because you don't associate like a corporate technology like Ansible with TikTok that grow up a lot on teenagers. But you will be surprised how the use of hashtag can perform some wonderful outcome. So at the moment, I created a total of 20 hours of content. And it's incredible because if I think the amount of time I invested on this stuff is unbelievable. So it's more than 100 videos. So it means for me more than 100 hours of my life. But it's great to see that a lot of people watched and have had fun. You can see also on the little graphics how difficult was the first month. If you focus on the August part, was very difficult to keep going because there was no spike, and basically some videos were only with few views. But now is booming. Another way how distributed the content is via the website and the Medium blog. This gives is more helpful with the code, and also I'm trying to focus on the execution of code. Of course, the hidden potency, because is the best is the best of our Ansible module. And yes, I'm trying to focus on the outcome that the code can give to users. And people like to copy and paste the code that is working, because basically all my content are verified by me, because every time I'm making a video, I run the code, and if it's not working, I'm going to fix the error for you. So I'm kind of like certify the stuff. You can find all the content as well on GitHub for free. And I was running the utility to count the line of code, and at the moment it's more than 2,000. So I'm impressed because every content is more or less an average of 10 lines of Ansible playbook, and combine all together, you have some user management, file system management, file and directory. So take a look. There is a lot of fun, and basically it's almost Ansible playbook, but there are also some other side language, of course, Markdown for documentation and other stuff. PowerShell only for installing things on Windows, especially on Windows 10 and 11. And as you can see, there is a trend that is growing slowly by slowly. I really like to take a look on the website view, and this metrics is especially on the search on Google, on the search engine, that give me some traffic, and also give me the idea of how could I improve my content, because it's not only the direct feedback that I'm receiving in the comment of a video or in the article that really it counts a lot to me. I was showing you the positive things, positive feedbacks, but I received also sometimes someone that is borderline that I need to process a little bit, like this content is too easy, or maybe could explain a different way. And this one I really appreciate because it challenged me to do better and better. Oh, let me show you how am I managing and taking a look about all the content. This type of analysis I'm doing like kind of indirectly, because the more one content is viewed, the more stimulate me to make some related content on this field. For example, the change user password was watched more than 4,400 times, which is great in my opinion, because it's a task that every system administrator needs to perform in our day-to-day job. So if you are able to save time, I will be more happy. And frankly, I really like how Ansible is very clean and human readable as a language, because the learning curve is very approachable in my opinion. But sometimes when I'm looking inside the documentation, I'm getting lost, because there are a lot of options, and all this module was created with a purpose to be also working in a different operating system. So it's great to focus on Linux, on the password hashing, and I was showing in this video how to verify on etc passwd that the user have the right password that we were setting, how to associate with some user group, and this type of things. Also, being able to analyze where is the moment of a spike of view, because each video is divided by chapter, so the people can easily jump to the code section. It drives me very it gives me a lot of information how you like, what you would like to see more on this channel. What type of other information are also the geographics of this is, for example, the website, but they have a similar analytics for the channel and for the other channels. It's very interesting for me because Germany is the third most biggest audience of my content. So first is US, second is India, and third is Germany. So this is why I'm here in this wonderful event, because I would like to connect more with you, and maybe you can give me some idea of new content. As you can see, these are the most read content. Check if a directory exists, change user password, set password expiration, and change file permission and extract an archive, for example. And this is, I'm watching every day is a bit changing, and I'm trying to give new content and freshly up to date, which means that every time something new exits, I'm always happy to move on. Let me share the principal milestone that I was approaching during this 6-month wonderful experience. First of all, I was able to be reached on the Ansible Bullhorn. Did you know Bullhorn is the official Ansible newsletter? It is more for developers, so if you are on this developer, DevOps, so from the person that interact directly with the code, with the collection, and with the community. So it's a place, is a must-be place, and I was mentioning it on 2 of these, 34 and 41. I think, beside on this, I think it's great content to keep track how Ansible core is evolving. You know that now, after 2.10, Ansible is splitting, the project is split in the Ansible core and the official Ansible community package. And the number are moving very fast. We are already on Ansible 5, and they released probably a few weeks ago 5.3. So it's always good to take a look on Ansible Bullhorn. And being mentioned there was quite an accomplishment for me, just being recognized by the official channel. Another great milestone was in December when I was writing some code just for fun. You probably have heard of this sentence before, for automating the vulnerability scanner of Log4Shell remote code execution. You already probably have heard about the security flaw that affects some Java website. So basically, Red Hat released some code to test a single host, and I was able to automate with Ansible to scan all your fleet. This was for helping a friend, and then quickly became a nice project that I shared with Red Hat leadership. And now, if you take a look on this security bulletin, there is my code directly, so it became official. And really, I'm so proud of this because also teach me that we can escalate very fast. And it was so nice to meet the guy that were taking care of this vulnerability, taking care also resolution plan, and I've been in the war room meeting the meeting the security team, that they are doing an amazing job to stay up to date and with things moving very fast. After this, I was reached by a colleague that mentioned the Polkit vulnerability, that they are able to create a mitigation plan directly available on Ansible. So somehow I was inspiring this new way of distributing content, and I'm so proud of this stuff that I was able to influence not only the community, but also one Red Hat way of thinking. And the third milestone is being here, being a speaker on Ansible Anwendertreffen. Guys, I practice a lot, but my German is worse. I really like to share my idea with people.
It was perfect.
Thank you, Christian. And I really, oh, by the way, feel free to ask any question at any time. So this is great to share my ideas and have a feedback. So it helps me also to think in a different way. To be able to create this content, I'm using a lot of tools, and sometimes people are curious about what is and etc. Of course, on the hardware point of view, the voice needs to be fantastic, stellar, so I need to use a studio quality equipment. Rode is probably the leadership on the professional microphone. And when you have this fancy studio type connection, you need to use also some adapter, specifically Focusrite. If you are an audio guys, you already know this type of brands. And I'm connecting to my workstation, and then all the fun start. For creating the video, I'm using Camtasia, that is very famous for creating like a webinar and a lot of screen recording. I prefer to focus only on the video recording, not to distract the audience from typing or watching the webcam. I created some video with this style, but I don't like 100%. On the code, everything, for example, the website was created by Hugo. If you don't know, Hugo is a static website generator. Is similar to Jekyll, but is written in Google Go and really super fast. It's incredible. So all the content are created in a Markdown and then shared. Hugo apply the website template. Everything is delivered by GitHub, and the website is on GitLab. What else? Also, yeah, there is a Cloudflare in front, but it's a standard setup with stuff. What else? The editor, I'm using Sublime Text. I know it's not open source, but I like. And what else? Inkscape for some SVG content. Vectorial image looks better. What else? Tailwind CSS now is the new Bootstrap. So it's something that I really like, and is great to create content. If you need to start a website, definitely take a look. And now as you could imagine, every time I need to test a lot of code, and Vagrant combined with some virtual machine or Kubernetes is amazing, because it allows you to spin up a new operating system just in seconds, and it's incredible how technology are moving fast in our world. Lesson learned. So let me share something behind the scene. So I learned that you need a lot of passion to turn on the camera, turn on your microphone every day. No matter what, you are busy, you are tired, a lot of things are going on, and I would like to deliver one content, and to be able to deliver an average of 10 minutes content, actually there is a half an hour to 1 hour behind the scene. And sometimes I'm recording things and I forgot to turn on the microphone, or there is an error popping up in the wrong moment, so I need to shoot again, and it's really, you need to have a passion to share and shoot this type of content. But I really think that the video is one way of delivering better content for all of us. It's more easy to distribute and also catch more of attention, and we can go directly to the point without reading a lot of text. We are all in this pandemic size, so it's better to take a look on a small video of 5 minutes and go directly to the point. And one other thing that really make me proud is that I'm connecting with people all around the globe, and every time I'm seeing my code that was posted in, for example, I saw that the Korean Ansible user group used my code for scanning for vulnerability, or one colleague in Brazil wrote me that Accenture was taking a look at my project. So it makes me so proud, because somehow technology is using the same language all over the world, and this is amazing if you think, and something that we can't imagine, for example, 10 years ago. It also stimulates me to upskill, learning new things. For example, now I'm focusing more on the OpenShift, because I would like to deliver more content on this type of technology, and also on the Kubernetes underneath. So I really hope that I'm able to encourage you to collaborate more with your colleagues and also with the community, because if you have a problem to solve, probably the same problem pop out to another person nearby. For example, I was really surprised that for renaming a directory, there is not a direct module in Ansible. You need actually to copy and delete. That is a bit tricky, to be honest. But for other things, you can spin up a container with Podman or Docker in a very nice way, or set up some library with Python PIP. There are a lot of things that are really easy with Ansible, and of course something needs to be adjusted. For example, I was finding a bug in the Ansible user module to set the expiration date of the user, that at the moment there is this open bug that if you set the minimum expiration days and the maximum in the same transaction, the user module is not working perfectly. So you need to do 2 transactions at the moment. It's an open bug. The engineer team is working on it, and I hope that they are able to solve it soon. What else? Also, it's very nice to see how people share knowledge, because sometimes one question in a comment was answered by another member of the community, and this is, in my opinion, incredible and amazing, because we are all connected all around the globe, and if you think that as a human being we are able to help each other, is one of the purposes of life. I heard a lot of time that there are a lot of not constructive comments, so it makes me so proud that I was able to create a space where people feel free to share some code and comments. What else? Oh, this leads me directly to my goals of 2022. Actually, you must know the banana, because it was part of Ansible Fest 2021, and I really like, because it's kind of something funny. They named the company as a banana company, and the engineer team pop up a solution for a C Linux problem. It was so funny and quite unexpected, because all the conference was quite serious, and they came out with something nice. So this is a reminder to that moment. And so my idea is to try to deliver more accurate content. Maybe I'm trying to deliver less content, but more high quality. Try to focus on some specific use case. Basically, all this project is about to solve one problem per day. I'm not able to solve all of your problem, but just focus on one per day. That could be a storage, user, file system, interaction between system, networking. There is a lot of problem that you can in a system administrator journey. And I know you guys, you used to solve with some combination tools, some one-liner in Bash, creating some script. But if you think in a more wide way, in a more enterprise way, this is not sustainable. The same script that I was writing for myself, after 3 months, I was not able to understand it. And Ansible is a great solution to create some code that is sharing with other people. And also, if you think there is nowadays the Ansible Galaxy community, and there is a lot of role and collection of code already written that do wonderful stuff. So you can set up NTP server, for example, in seconds, or set it up some security context that usually requires some very specific command line. And especially in highly regulated context, this could be very important to be able to predict the state of the system. So I would like to I'm aspired to be more impactful for the community, because I'm behind the scene. I'm opening a lot of GitHub new request, or maybe some report to the engineer team, and I really like to collaborate with them. I mean, in the upstream community, so everybody could be beneficial of a new finding and a new solution. So get ready, because this 2022 will be very nice, and I'm opening also a new chapter of the Ansible Pilot channel, starting with a new background. If you take a look at my content, it will be something new, and I'm sure that it will be a lot of fun. I'm a bit early, but I would like really to thank you for listening to me, and of course, subscribe, give me a like, or comment my content. But I would like to have some moment more for Q&A, because you guys are very quiet, and I'm sure that you might have some questions.
Yeah, thank you, Luca. So you should be able to unmute yourself, even turn on your camera if you want to, and ask your question, or you can use the chat, whatever you prefer. So I think this was quite useful while they are still shy. And for me, I told you in the briefing that I stumbled about your blog on YouTube a while ago, actually. And I found it very useful, because what we also often lack are simple examples. Some people want to provide super complicated examples, and you have a very good mix of different level of content, and I think that's quite useful, because sometimes it can be also the simple thing. It doesn't have to be this 1,000 line, 5 roles, 10 collections playbook. Sometimes it's also the easy ones, right?
Yeah, thank you, Christian. But if you think in a different way, the 1,000 very difficult script is a combination of a lot of small blocks.
Exactly, and sometimes
like
you're stuck on a little piece, right? So is there another question?
I saw Tony. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Luca. Thank you very much for your presentation. So I have a question. When I want to actually build and construct the framework, the Ansible framework, so I am confronted with a lot of questions like if I have like multiple VLANs, multiple zones, then I have an administration network. So I want to, push out from the administration network to all the other using Ansible. And then, should I use AWX, or should I use just the command line? So that's a lot of questions to start,
Oh, there's a lot of going on, to be honest. Let me try to start from the end and maybe wrap from the beginning. So you ask me which type of Ansible is, which product of Ansible is more suitable for your use case. It depends. Like always, it depends. This is my short answer. Let me just expand a little bit. With Ansible community, if you get stuck, you rely on a community of people that some are Red Hat employee, some are volunteer. There are some community that are marked as a community support. So I'm thinking there is a lot of module that I also was testing. So you don't, for communities content, you don't have a certain time of response. If you want a certain time, you need to have a subscription. So this is why Red Hat is giving this stuff with SLA, and there is a worldwide team that they work 24/7. Also on Christmas, yes, and New Year's Eve, everybody, all the time, that can exist on enterprise. But if you are this type of business, you need to consider how much it costs to you a downtime of this stuff. AWX is actually the open source version of Tower, let's say in this way, because it allows you to have all the best of UI, but somehow is a slightly different project. You don't have all the Red Hat certified content inside of it. So these are more or less the things on table. And if you are thinking about console only, it depends how big is your team. If you are like one solo person, console is okay, but you might need to handle some sensitive data, and this is how the Tower and also in general all the automation platform could be helpful, because you store in a single place and multiple user with multiple role. You can configure a lot of this stuff. And and you were asking me also about networking. This is more very specific. It depends the type of your network, because you can have like an Ansible controller that is managing the playbook, and some execution node in the middle just to manage some really complicated networking stuff. Actually, now there is a transition of the Ansible platform from the usual monolithic way to, in December, there was this new release of the platform that moved to the container, really truly embrace the container world. And this move a leap forward for all this type of automation, and there is new technology called also Ansible Mesh that might be useful in your use case. You can take a look really, but this is a bit outside of this type of presentation.
Okay, so you guys can stay, and the bridge will actually stay open, but I have to jump to the other one because I'm the moderator. But feel free to continue answering questions, and see you later in Gathertown. Thanks again, Luca.
Okay,
thank you so much. Tony, tell me if you would like to continue. If you have...
Yes, I would like to continue if you have the time.
Yeah, my pleasure.
maybe, I don't know if the other guys have questions or so. I don't want to block them. So, but like from my point of view, one of the questions that I am confronted when I am building a new environment is that like I already have like an administration zone from which I would like to run the automation, and I have the firewall configured to do the SSH and everything. So that would be really good. But on the other hand, I don't want to have a Kubernetes cluster in every network zone. So that's like my my fundamental issue. I don't understand quite how to build it.
Okay, we need to probably deep dive on your use case because basically Ansible connected to the target machine via SSH, so you need only an SSH connection from this point of view. If the network become complex, you might need probably a bastion host or a jump host in the middle. So Ansible is able to connect to this host in the middle, and this host is able to connect to the target host. But we are opening a lot of interesting scenario from the connection point of view. Really, it's impressive how many things are moving, and also this automation is really taking the lead nowadays. I was watching the Ansible Fest and was so surprised that United Airlines used to improve the deploying of web service, and they are able to deploy in previously took 1 week. With Ansible, they take only 1 hour.
Wow.
So I'm still thinking what they are doing for 1 hour, but
yeah, but now when I build a complete infrastructure, it can be quite complicated. Like you have a lot of stuff, like you need to automate also like Palo Alto firewall or whatever firewall on the zone, and like and then you have the network switch where you have to tag the VLAN and so on. So that's a lot of stuff. So yeah, and you need to restart it in the right order so you don't break anything.
Yeah, we are moving to the software-defined network, and this is incredible if you think that we are able to create a language that is able to interact with all the network components and assign some IP address, open ports, connect to firewall, backing up devices, and really, I lived in this world for 15 years, and now I see a really bright future in. Okay, now we are talking about Ansible technology, but this automation is going to stay, in my opinion, because in one form or another, because the world needs this type of technologies to simplify and to scale. If you have, I don't know, 10 servers, you can do manually. But if you have 1 million and with container, this number are going to explode, you really need something to simplify your day-to-day job.
Yeah, and also what you mentioned before, when you have a security issue, like 5 years ago, it was okay to fix the security issue after 3 or 4 days. And now it's like you are expected to fix it within a few hours. So
that's true.
Yes, so at some point it is impossible to do manually. So,
yeah, I definitely agree. Indeed.
Yeah, and also if you think like when you think about the situation on the market with people, like working people, experts, it is very hard to get experts who can do the job, because the boomer generation, they went all to going to pension now, and which creates more pressure on the working market, and then it's harder and harder to get people. for the job, and then there is no other way to use use automation. So the existing people can do more.
Yeah, and also Ansible has this stigma just if we automate, we need to do less things manually. So what we are going to do in the spare time? You are going to create more automation.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you everybody for attending this meeting. It was really a pleasure for meeting you. And please connect with me on the website, on LinkedIn. I really would like to keep in contact. And it's great if you think we are all in this post-pandemic world and we are able to share ideas and one place together. That is amazing. So really thanks everybody. If nobody has the last question, I will really say goodbye and enjoy the other session. Because somebody said that Breakout 2 is fantastic.
Okay, thank you, Luca.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too, thanks.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.